Good morning. Another little blurb on our ongoing series about guiding principles for martial practice. And this one's more for adult learners or for people interested in self-defense who may have heard the term natural thrown out a lot, right? Things need to be natural. They need to come out naturally. And this can mean a bunch of different things, and none of them are wrong. One of them is, of course, you need to train something until you can do it naturally, until it becomes an instinctive response to a stimulus, which is great. But if you're into martial philosophy, you'll also understand that having conditioned responses that are outside of your control is very bad, right? So, for example, you've trained this situation over and over and over again so that no matter what, as soon as somebody flinches at you, you punch them in the face. Okay, that's a pretty good response. If you're threatened and somebody, and you just punch them in the face, that's a pretty good response. However, if it's beyond your control, if it's not something that you're choosing in the moment, if it's so natural that you no longer have control of your reactions, then that can be manipulated, or that could be used inappropriately, right? So, two sides of the coin there. Another thing that natural can mean is to develop skills based on your individual tendencies, okay? So, this can manifest itself in many different ways. The important thing is to have a coach or instructor or confidence in yourself to understand what your natural tendency is, and then to have your coach or instructor develop that natural tendency into something useful. You see it all the time in good self-defense courses where they're going to work with your natural flinch response, right? So something comes at your head, you go like this, right? Well, it's only a minor correction to go from here, where your elbow's bent and can collapse into your head, to here, so that you're tucked up and you're shooting over it and whatever it is sliding down, right? So, that's just one example of how you can manipulate a flinch response into something that's useful for self-defense purposes. Another one that we discovered just kind of by accident, because this is the philosophy that I use in class, is I tossed my student a stick, my senior student. I said, kneecap me, right? Hit me in the knee. What's my natural response? What do I want to do to protect myself? And we found out that it became very reliable and highly effective for me to use the flinch response of picking my knee up in a certain way and flicking my foot up so that the stick bounced off the bottom of my shoe. I have a rubber sole, might as well use it. We ended up doing it a whole bunch of times, and like 9 times out of 10 with very little training, because I based my skill off of a flinch response, I ended up bouncing that stick off the bottom of my shoe and being able to have my hands free to hit him in the face while he's swinging the stick. So that's just another example of the concept of working with your natural tendencies in your martial practice. To a certain extent, we have to train out tendencies because they're not good, right? They come from fear, they come from animal mind, they come from a place of ignorance or poor combative principles, right? Because we're not all warriors anymore. On the other hand, though, you also have natural flinch responses that are designed to protect you and that are instinctual. And if you can capitalize on those just a little bit, you can speed up your martial training significantly. And then what you have is going to be more effective in a self-defense situation. So, food for thought.